So this video, it's presented by Sky News Australia, talking about how lefties are losing it and Kamala tries to speak without an auto cue. Let's just tune into this and see.
Good evening and welcome to a program devoted entirely to lefties losing it.
Instantly, I hate this woman.
Let's start, lefties, with this almighty group meltdown on CNN because Nancy Mace allegedly mispronounced Queen Kamala's name. Watch this demented carry-on.
And right. Kamala Harris, if
Kamala, you said
I will say
Nancy
any way that I want.
It's Kamala. You're doing this on purpose, Congresswoman.
Disrespectful.
You can't expect people to respect your
If a man
service
put on
if
a
you don't
skirt and
respect
walked
her.
that stage 25 years ago, she would have...
Is this really like lefties losing it as much as it's just like people arguing intensely? I'd love to see the full context of this. Like, why is everybody else in the room saying that she's purposely saying the name wrong as a means of disrespect?
Kamala Harris hasn't given a single interview.
It's not Kamala, it's Kamala.
Kamala Harris comes out with her
Kamala
Harris comes out with her Kamala's
You had it right. You almost got it.
I will say Kamala's name any way that I want to.
No, but you mispronounced her and you also misjudged her.
I just did, and I'll do it again.
mispronouncing her.
She would have taken that achievement away from women. That's
Let me get in here because I want to.
Did you hear that? He said you're a white woman disrespecting a black woman. Why? By calling her the name everyone has called her for years, decades.
I'm pretty sure that mispronunciation, like on purpose like that, can have racial undertones. Yeah. This is so far just like stupid Australian lady doesn't understand nuance. The final night of the Democratic National Convention included a tutorial on pronouncing Kamala Harris's name, featuring none other than the candidate's great nieces. It's come to my attention that there are some folks who struggle or pretend to struggle with the proper pronunciation of our future president's name. She added, "Confusion is understandable, disrespect is not. So tonight we are going to help everyone get it right." First you say comma, like the comma in a sentence. Then you say la, like la la la. Okay, let's practice. Kamala. Some of the speakers at the Democratic National Convention have stumbled over Harris's first name, including former President Bill Clinton, who said it as Kamala in his speech on Wednesday night. I've even slipped up and mispronounced things like that before. But again, why doesn't she talk about this, where they say, hey, it's totally understandable if you're confused, but disrespect is not. Deliberately calling her Kamala Harris because you know it ticks people off and it bothers people or whatnot, that does seem kind of lame. It's like it doesn't seem like you're really interested in a reasonable or valid discussion. At the end of the day, I'm not going to lose my shit over somebody saying Kamala Harris's name wrong. However, if somebody is constantly disrespecting and mispronouncing her name on purpose, it makes sense that people might get upset about it.
Can someone alert the president because he's still pronouncing it this way?
And Kamala are here today to make a major announcement on their efforts to lower.
But back.
So the guy that everybody makes fun of for never being able to speak clearly, for always having gaffes, for always tripping over his words. This is the most baseless, lame criticism I've ever seen. Who cares?
To the mass meltdown on CNN. Look at the reprehensible way they treat a lone conservative woman, a woman who carries the trauma of being a rape victim and who showed far more grace than I'd be capable of facing this barrage of lunacy.
When you disrespect Kamala Harris by saying you will call her whatever you want.
She had obviously already said, I'm going to call her whatever I want. But they presented the clip to us to make it seem as though this person may have simply just accidentally misspoken, and next thing we know, the triggered lefties are attacking her relentlessly. That's not what happened at all.
I know you don't intend it to be that way. That's the history and legacy of white disregard for the humanity of black people.
So now you're calling me racist.
I didn't say. I just said you weren't a
BS.
racist.
That is complete
No, you don't have
BS.
to intend racism to accomplish
You are intending that I am
Your disrespect
racist.
of Kamala.
It literally feels like watching like a cartoon character trying to like deal with being in the real world. She's like, so you're saying I'm racist? So is that what you're getting at, that I'm racist? So I'm racist? So you're just saying I'm racist? No. He's literally not even saying that. He's saying that even if you don't intend it to be, there is a history of white people disregarding black people and saying, I'll call you whatever I want to call you. I'll treat you however I want to treat you. That is a history there. So it's a soft spot. It's a sore spot. So when she purposely mispronounces the name, even after being corrected and given plenty of opportunities gracefully to just try to get it right, she purposefully went forward with being disrespectful. He's only making a parallel to her behavior and historical analysis. And because the barrage of lunacy that is this Sky News commentator here, they're just going to go with, well, they called them racist?
Congresswoman, why can't you just...
I'm not calling you a racist. I'm saying what the practice is racist.
You are. You absolutely are.
Let me get it.
No, what's disgusting is your disrespect of her.
Professor.
She doesn't know what a woman is. And if 25 years ago...
White women don't have the ability to tell black women who paid the price of blood to make this country what it is, to tell them they're not real women.
25 years ago...
They care for your babies.
25
There's much more of that Lefty losing it madness, but I won't subject you to it because this next bit is even better. Remember Don Lemon before CNN sacked him? He's back doing Vox Pops and being laughed at by the good folk in Jersey and Atlantic City. First, he tries to shame Trump backers by suggesting they're sexist.
Who do you support? I plead the fifth.
Trump for the win.
Tell me why.
I can't really call that right now, but I just feel like she's not good for president. She's good vice, but not for the actual lead role for the country.
Does it have anything to do with being a woman?
No. No, because I feel like women, nah, you're not gonna give me that.
Your money's on Harris.
Listen to this stupid fucking bitch rambling on saying that Don Lemon's up here fucking shaming people when that's not the case at all. Oh my God. He literally just exposed that guy because the guy said he doesn't even know why. He just doesn't think she'd be good as president, only as vice president. Do you think maybe it could have something to do with her being a woman? And then him being like, that's apparently lefties losing it. So far, we're watching conservatives lose it. We're seeing conservatives lose it over being asked to just say somebody's name correctly. We're seeing conservatives lose it just being asked a question.
Yeah.
Who do you want?
Trump.
Why don't you like Harris?
Oh, she doesn't have any experience.
She's the vice president. She's a senator.
Yeah, no experience. No.
It doesn't get any better when Don talks to women.
So far, like the lady, the commentator lady is so stupid and annoying. She's not adding anything to this.
On Donald Trump, I just feel we need somebody that has a stronger background with the military and the world in general.
She was a prosecutor and an attorney general and a senator and a vice president.
Is he there to learn what voters think or to lecture them about?
It doesn't get any better than when he talks to women and then pushes back against what women Trump supporters are saying, just the same way he was pushing back against men Trump supporters. It doesn't get any better than that, folks. Why are you showing us clips of Don Lemon absolutely fucking destroying stupid fuck MAGA conservatives and then acting like it's the liberals that are losing it? He's explaining what's wrong with what they're saying. That's learning about their perspective, but also correcting their perspective because their perspective is incorrect.
Interaction is frankly bonkers.
4 years ago, it was a lot better. I made a lot more money than I do now.
I know you feel that way, but that's not actually what the record shows. The economy is actually better under Biden. No, I'm serious. That's what the facts show.
Okay, you know what?
No.
Imagine
I will agree right there that that's not a good approach. Like, you should be more empathetic towards their experience. Like, I absolutely understand that, but do you think that, like, Biden had anything to do with the economy not being as good as maybe it was before? Like, I feel like that would have been a better question. He seemed a little dismissive, I guess, of that guy's personal experience, but okay.
Imagine telling a grown man he's wrong about being better off 4 years ago because Don's figures say so. No wonder they laughed in his face. That sort of form will see Don Lemon elevated to the Lefty Losing It Hall of Fame. And here's one last clip from
the Lefty Losing It Hall of Fame. This is like a show that feels like it should have been made in 2015.
Trump or Harris?
Trump.
That's who's going to win.
That's who's going to win.
Who do you support?
I support Trump. All the people that came to this country legally, it's not fair that they're letting all 10,000 to 15,000 people or 20,000 people here illegally. Did you know?
Guess what? That's fucking stupid. Because I had to struggle, everybody else should have to struggle too. No, how about because I had to struggle, I don't want others to have to struggle too. I can tell you right now, it's not unfair to the people that came here legally. What we need to do is make the process by which you can become a citizen an easier process. And since we know immigrants, undocumented immigrants or not, they benefit the economy. Granting them citizenship only makes things better for Americans. Not making things better for all of Americans and for immigrants here just because, well, that would be unfair because they should have to suffer like all the other immigrants did, is so fucking laughably stupid. I don't even know why I would even entertain that kind of an argument. Most likely, if you're making that kind of an argument, you're special needs at best.
Biden was flying them in? Did you know Biden was flying them in?
I got to get out of Atlantic City. Where are we going to next?
Now watch this totally authentic interaction between Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. They won't do any interviews, but they will provide content like this. Here, Tim worries that his white guy tacos, his words, not mine, he worries that his white guy tacos won't be spicy enough for Kamala.
Like I have white guy tacos and
What is that, like mayonnaise and tuna? What are you doing?
pretty much ground beef and cheese.
That's okay. Do you put any flavor in it?
No.
Oh.
Here's the deal.
Oh, that's so funny, dude. Hey, somebody joking around and being kind of like, you know, white people don't season their food. Everything's too spicy for white people. That whole meme. That's called like playing into the culture. This lady needs to go back to like worrying about her fucking kangaroos and get out of here though. This is funny.
No, they said to be careful and let her know this, that black pepper is the top of the spice level in Minnesota, you know.
I'm the first vice president, I believe, who has ever grown chili peppers.
I'm trying to expand
We'll figure
my food knowledge.
People acting wholesome and human. I just can't do it. Lefties are losing it. This is literally, again, conservatives now losing it over a joke. A self-aware joke, and conservatives are losing it.
Oh dear. Now here is the real Kamala in the days before every word was carefully...
Also, notice that she's not even saying anything or weighing in on anything. She's just like, cringe, right? Now here's the next clip. Like, why is it cringe?
Now I've heard her say some crazy things, but surely she would never snatch a patent.
I will snatch their patent so that we will take over. And yes, we can do that.
To Kamala Harris threaten to snatch patents, a viral video clip is genuine, but it leaves out important context. A Facebook reel that's been shared claims that Kamala Harris wants to confiscate patents owned by individuals and companies for their products, and includes a video snippet that shows Harris saying, "I will snatch their patent so that we will take over." Then Senator Harris was referring specifically to the potential for seizing some pharmaceutical patents in limited circumstances in an effort to implement price controls for specific drugs, which is absolutely needed because medicine, drugs like this, pharmaceutical drugs, that should not be a market. There absolutely should be price controls there. So that's all she's talking about. Making sure, again, that Americans aren't getting ripped off by fucking pharmaceutical companies. And mind you, she's coming from Australia. In Australia, they have universal health care. She has free health care and is shitting on Kamala Harris for trying to offer Americans the same fucking thing.
She's got the will, people. Watch out. How very communist of her. Now, back to CNN, and yes, they are among the Democrats' most enthusiastic propaganda outlets. Here they are telling the American people to forget about the high prices, the illegal immigration crisis, crime. Just feel the joy. There's so much joy.
Brian, go ahead. I think Trump world's jealous of the joy right now. There's so much anger coming from Trump's speeches. Joy is real and it's important. People can make fun of it and say focus on the policy. But if you ask political scientists and psychology professors, they'll tell you the emotions matter in politics. Yes. Sometimes they matter a lot more than the policies. And that's, I think, the big story this week.
Yes, Brian.
That's literally... So wait a minute. We see a clip of a CNN guy actually explaining his reasoning and how this is a thing and how emotion is really important in politics. Which is true, and this lady's saying that the lefties are losing it? 3 persuasion techniques that are often used together in rhetoric to form the rhetorical triangle. Ethos appeals to the speaker's credibility, authority, or status to make the audience more likely to trust them. Logos, appealing to the audience's sense of reason by using logic, facts, and statistics. And pathos appeals to the audience emotions by using emotional language, sensory images, and anecdotes. I don't like it, but it's true that sometimes, yes, sometimes the vibes are more compelling to people than the policies. I wish it wasn't the case, but what can I say? Some people are stupid. That's just how it is. And this dumb idiot here thinks that that's lefties losing it. Understanding the very basic foundations of arguing and rhetoric equals lefties losing it. Dude.
Brian, if you ask political scientists and psychology professors, they'll tell you emotions matter. The Nazis knew that too. They love the joy message. Theirs was strength through joy. And their propaganda arms were just as enthusiastic.
We're making a fucking Nazi comparison? Bro, the Nazis also liked joy. Or what? Dude, now we have conservatives losing it over people being happy. You know who else liked being happy on Christmas morning? Hitler. That's right. Adolf Hitler. You know who else breathed air? Adolf Hitler. You know who else ate bread? His name was Adolf Hitler. Because Kamala Harris has positive vibes, offering people hope, tapping into people's emotions, which is incredibly important and substantial when it comes to swaying people and winning elections. Because of that, that's being like the Nazis, because the Nazis also cared about joy.
And just watch and marvel at this completely fair, balanced, and not at all hysterical rant from one of the ABC's highest paid journalists.
But Donald Trump poisoned American politics in a new way. He's clearly taken America to a dark place. Do you also hold him responsible for the dark place that he took your family to with the terrible attack on your husband in your home?
Yep, that was Sarah.
She's telling us that lefties are losing it, but she's not showing any lefties losing it. She thinks if she just keeps saying, lefties are losing it, good eye, mate. And then she thinks that that's enough to, like, convince everybody watching, like, yep, the lefties are losing it, all right. It's true that America was left more divided when Donald Trump left the White House than America was during the fucking Civil War. So it's fair that Trump didn't cause every bad thing to happen in America, fine, whatever. However, Trump absolutely worsened America. He absolutely did put America in a darker place.
Yep, that was Sarah Ferguson last week interviewing former Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi. The Trump derangement syndrome remains off the charts of the ABC, and Ferguson and her overpaid underworked team seem to have learnt nothing from their previous failures. Remember the three-part series we were treated to on the Trump-Russian collusion hoax? Yeah, they've learnt nothing. Though Kamala...
Okay, yeah, good one, chat. And seriously, Karen from the Down Under, maybe you're a little confused because, you know, you're not living here, but you know several people were indicted with colluding with Russia, right? You know that there was, like, substantial enough evidence that people are still in prison to this day? Furthermore, she just used the term, unironically in current year, Trump derangement syndrome. Karen, update your fucking memes.
Though Kamala refuses to do an interview, she did, for just a minute, answer a question without the benefit of an auto cue, and it did not go well. Here she is asked about how she plans to pay for these policies she's announcing. See if you can work out the phrase her advisors have clearly drilled into her head.
In terms of the tax credits, we know that there's a great return on investment. And when we increase home ownership in America, what that means in terms of increasing the tax base, not to mention property tax base, what that does to fund schools, again, return on investment. I think it's a mistake for any person who talks about public policy to not critically evaluate how you measure the return on investment.
Return?
What? What? That was the clip she titled her fucking video about? What she's saying here makes sense. That when you provide more housing, you do increase the base of people to pay taxes. So that means that you are getting a return on the investment. The investment of the government investing into more housing leads to more home ownership, which then leads to more taxes, which is then a what? A return on your investment. What she's saying literally is true. We already know that property taxes fund schools. This is why people who are in poorer areas tend to have worse schools. We don't want that.
Return on investment. In the full clip, she said it 4 times in about 40 seconds. It's like a kid cramming for an exam. Just keep repeating it until it sinks.
No, this is actually, you sound like a kid cramming on an exam, desperate to prove your thesis that just has no evidence. That's what this feels like. You sound like a student who is desperately trying to write an essay and establish their argument, but just you have no evidence. She just kept repeating it over and over again, I might. So, what she said ultimately made sense still. It checks out. But, alright, I'm not gonna tolerate any more of this cringe any longer. Lefties are not losing it. It's in fact the conservatives that are losing it, and I am now losing my brain cells by watching this video, so done with that one. If you want to support the channel, please consider becoming a member today. Members get early access to videos, access to all the stream VODs, and exclusive access to emotes as well. So if you'd like to support the channel, become a member today.